Hello and welcome. As you probably guessed, I'm MotherAzure, but you can also call me Maria. I'm back again with another pick-a card. Finally, I got it for this week. I almost thought I wouldn't be able to do a video because my camera malfunctioned in like a weird way. And I thought I would have to skip this week, and I was like, oh no. But it ended up working. I'm going to order new batteries because I think they're reaching the end of their life. So what we're gonna do for this video I just want to see what it is that your spirit team has been trying to tell you. I already got several messages, like just off just the moment that I began the recording. So which is why I'm a little bit like all over the place, because I just keep getting random stuff, and they're telling me also for which group it is, which is interesting. But we're just going to be seeing what your spirit team wants to tell you. It can be pretty much about anything. So we're going to be using these. You saw me shuffle these in the beginning. This is the only oracle we're going to use, and I do oracle like that because this isn't really an oracle, it's more affirmation cards, but I use them as an oracle. And we're also going to be using the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. It's just a basic Rider-Waite style tarot. So we're going to be using only that because I really don't think I will need anything else. So without further ado, let's get into a pile. So for pile 1, you have the golden seashell. For pile 2, you have this striped scallop, I think, seashell. I think that's what it is. And for pile 3, you have the white seashell. Hit over with pile 1 with the golden seashell. This is your reading. I'm going to put that right there. So just like before I started your reading, I thought I heard my phone, like a notification go off. But I was like, okay. My phone is actually by me. I just heard it, like, receive something. But the problem is that I always have my sound off. So my phone is only on vibrate. So it's not supposed to make a sound. So I was like, oh shit, did I accidentally, raise the volume and I have sound while I'm doing the video? But I just checked and I don't. And I also heard it vibrate just now. So did you receive a message prior to this reading? Because honestly, or maybe you will during the duration of this reading, because that was weird. Like, it's not my phone. I know the sound my phone makes when it's a notification, and no other phone in this house makes that sound. So that's interesting. So there's one thing that I saw for you, and I saw a shadow-like entity. I don't think this is a spirit guide. I think they are relating this to maybe you have been having nightmares, because it kind of looks like the Hat Man to me. So that's a type of entity, or a specific entity that a lot of people see sometimes when they have sleep paralysis, or when they have like really vivid like dreams, I think. I don't know if you have seen this entity before, but it's not that entity that's coming through. It's more like, I think they're relating it to a concept, or at least the fact that maybe you have been having trouble sleeping. Again, maybe you have seen the entity, but it's like you having many issues, specifically staying asleep. Maybe not falling asleep, but specifically staying asleep. So you may wake up a lot during the night, and this may lead you to have like a lot of nightmares, or you wake up because you have a lot of nightmares, and some of them may include that sleep paralysis. That's not fun. So yeah, I think that's why that's coming through, because I feel like if I saw that entity, I would probably feel like a little bit threatened, because it looks kind of scary actually. So yeah, but that's interesting. So let's see what this card is. So you got gratitude. Today I am grateful for all of the little things. Even when the big things suck, there are always plenty of things I can be at least a little grateful for, like hot showers and music, and the fact that humans invented an internet, and I'm allowed to use it whenever I want to, using fingers and thumbs to do whatever I think them to do at any given moment. That's interesting because it did come up like, the text message. So this is obviously, I don't have to explain this, it's talking about gratitude, but they're relating something to communication in your life. So maybe you're currently communicating with someone through text, and that's why I heard like the sound, even though my phone is sound off, right? And I don't know if there's a specific person that came to mind, and this person either makes you uncomfortable, or you're trying, or you're recognizing that there are certain things about them that you don't like, and you're trying to distance yourself from them. I think this may be related to the dreams, actually, because I didn't mention it because I was like, that's gonna sound weird. It's gonna sound like I'm making you watch another one of my videos. But last week I didn't post a pick a card. I posted a general reading, which I rarely do. In fact, I think it's been like a year and I haven't posted a single general reading. And the thing that came up in that reading is that there's like this dark energy and an entity that's kind of like a parasite. And one of the things that came up in that reading was that it was causing nightmares and bad dreams. So if you feel like that may be for you, I would invite you to watch that other video. It's pretty short. It's like 20 something minutes. So if you feel called to do that, go ahead and do it. I'm going to link it somewhere. Yeah, but I think this could be related for you to this person. Maybe not that they're sending you any negative energy directly, or at least not consciously, but it's like the energy that they create in you more than anything. So if they make you uncomfortable, if they make you fearful or worried, or they make you question decisions, but not in like a good constructive way, is that they make you question if you're like, well, maybe I'm stupid and this person is correct or something like that. So they make you maybe second guess yourself. So yeah, if that resonates for you, yeah, they're talking about that person, I think, specifically. So let's see what else they're trying to tell you. What do I want you to know? Spirit team. I'm seeing a necklace that actually it has a seashell, but it's like on a black cord, and it's not a seashell like this one. It's one of those that have that they're like spiral-y, like a little spiral shell that goes upward, like a little cone shape. Yeah, I saw that. So you have the Four of Cups. Let me get two more at least. Okay. That is the Ace of Pentacles. And and the Six of Swords. I didn't realize that I'm all the way back here because my setup is a little bit further away today. So if you didn't see me shuffle, I'm sorry. Because I was like back here where I'm more comfortable. So Four of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Six of Swords. Yep. This is pretty clear to me. So I want you to notice here that these two cards right here, actually, let me move that up because I think half the card is being cut off. Yep. Let me move that up. There we go. Okay. So if you notice these two people here, these two men, to me, it looks like the same man. And that's the thing with tarot, that there are the recurring characters. And when I see a similitude, a similarity between two characters in the cards, I pay attention to what they're doing on each. And the main thing that I saw here is that with the Four of Cups, there's this boredom, this stagnation. This person's so deep in their head and maybe their emotions and all of that, that they refuse to take the cup that is being offered to them. Okay. And in this other card, they're moving away from the stagnation, whatever it is. So here's the thing. The main message that came up for me that your guides are trying to tell you is, how do I explain this? So instead of focusing, like if the emotion makes you uncomfortable, because I'm specifically thinking of this cup, there's a need, you need to change your approach towards this emotion or your perspective on it. Because the way that this is being shown to me, and with this representation here, to me it feels like this person on this version of the card, this side, to me it almost feels like the water here that they are crossing is them actually threading through their emotions and their inner world, more or less, because swords do represent they represent thoughts and also words, communication, all of that. But to me, this feels like them actually working through the emotions that they were refusing to look at or accept here. And the reason that I say there's a change in approach is, and I think it could be also related to this person, because let's say that you are someone, if you are someone who you were denied your feelings a lot, or you were your feelings were invalidated by the people in your life, or maybe even specifically this one person, it has made you uncomfortable with your own, I heard with your own humanity, because to feel is to be human, okay? So you may become very uncomfortable whenever you feel any feelings, positive or negative, so you may shut them down. So you may be the type of person that feels mostly numb, so you may not feel like truly feel emotions unless they are extremes. So it's very difficult for you to simply feel, let's say, content or relaxed. It's either you are in like a complete, almost like a manic type of state, right? Or you are completely depressed, or you're super angry, or you're then like super sad. So unless you are in these extremes, it feels like you don't really feel anything, or at least that's how you would like to explain it. That may be how the actual experience of this feels to you. It's not that you don't feel it, but to you it feels like you don't really feel anything unless it's super strong. And I think that you have been tricked, honestly, manipulated into not feeling these feelings, into shutting them down, and it's keeping you stuck. Because to me, again, this feels like this hand is like your spirit team. They're giving you the cup. It's like, let's deal with this repressed emotion, with this problem here that is highly emotional for you. And you don't want to do it, but you have many to go through. And the reason you have to go through these is because so you can move out of this stagnation, because you can't stay here under the tree forever. I mean, you can, but you're not going to reach your full potential. So the different change in approach, I think, especially let's say that there's a specific emotion that bothers you, for example, anger, because you were taught that anger was bad. So you were shamed into not ever feeling your anger, so repressing it and pushing it down. And you would push it down until one day you had an outburst and you felt out of control. So then you continue to try and repress the anger, but then you have another outburst, because anger doesn't really go away if you push it down. Like if you suppress it, it's going to come out later, and probably even worse. So the way to reframe that view, the view of that emotion, the way that you can do that is to change the negative connotation that it has. So if you see anger as such an emotion that you shouldn't have, to change the perspective to it's a normal human emotion and it's not bad or good. It depends on how you use it. Because, for example, anger may be destructive, like it can cause issues in a relationship, etc., etc. But anger also is let's say the driver. It drives change. Because what anger tells you is that you feel like you're not being treated right, that you have been wronged in some way, or that someone else has been wronged in some way, because you can feel anger for other people. So when that happens, that anger is not bad, because it's going to drive change. It may drive change, let's say, in your relationship by you telling your partner, hey, I don't like it when you do that. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me upset. Let's see what we can do here. In like a bigger social scale, anger is what drives, let's say, protests, revolutions, right? So if like what we're going through right now, like a lot of social issues, the reason people go out to protest is because they feel the anger at being treated wrongly and being stripped of their rights, right? So anger is not inherently bad. No emotion is inherently bad. So that's the kind of perspective that will be most helpful for you to take on in order to move through this, okay? Because you will not allow yourself to feel anything if you are constantly trying to push it down. So just because you say, okay, I'm if you try to minimize like the feeling, is not really you accepting them or acknowledging them. That's just minimizing it and pushing it away as well. So, and the reason that I think this Ace of Pentacles is in the middle, again, is that change you see is the same hand, it's the same floating arm here. But the Pentacles is something that's more, it's more physical, more rooted in reality. So, for example, like I was saying, if you have these issues with emotions, chances are that just telling you to let yourself feel the emotion is not going to work. It may not be helpful. It rarely is, right? But with this change from the Cups to the Pentacles, it may help you to process your emotions in a more physical way. So, for example, journaling. So it may help you to write down what happened. Let's say that you had a situation at work, write about it, anything that you want, anything that comes up, anything that you think, write it down. That may be a good way for you to deal with you feeling angry or sad about what happened at work, right? Another thing that could help you is put on a song that maybe relates to the problem and dance to it. Because the thing is that emotions are not solely trapped in your brain, they affect your entire body. So by you doing this releasing, even though it's more physical and it's not sitting down and crying, it's still you processing your emotions. So again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. There is a right and wrong way for you to do it, because sometimes some things work for you and some don't, and that's going to be different from me or another person, any other person. So don't pay attention to people that tell you that there's only one way for you to do things, because that's usually a lie. There may be several ways. Maybe they think that one way is superior to the other, but that doesn't mean you have to listen to them, right? So if someone is trying to like feed you the idea that only they are right and only they know the truth of the situation and all of that, no, they don't, and they're most likely being manipulative, okay? So if they have ever told you, like if this person or whoever it was told you this, like this is a bad emotion, you shouldn't feel it, or like you have no right to be feeling that emotion right now because I didn't do anything, okay? That may have been a little bit triggering for some of you because it even triggered me. So don't listen to them. They are not right and they have no authority. They would like to think they do. They would like to have some, but they do not. And that's the way they resort to like tactics like this one. So they want you to, your spirit team wants you to separate yourself from that and find something that works for you. Like I said, the way that this is being indicated to me is that it would work more, or it would work better for you if you did this physically. Like I said, like with dancing, with journaling, exercising, just walking, doing yoga. There are so many ways. Even doing like, there's this type of therapy, I think it's EMDR. I could be wrong with the acronym, but I wouldn't recommend doing this by yourself because it can release like a lot of strong emotions and it can dysregulate you. So it's safe to do this only with someone who is experienced. So if you do have the ability to go to a therapist, maybe check one out that does EMDR therapy. It's somatic therapy. So they will talk to you through the process and they will have you like do certain rhythmic touches on your bodies. I've seen people do it like on their shoulders, like tapping their shoulders in like a rhythmic way, kind of going like this on their shoulders. I've seen it do it in their face. So that works really well for some people, especially people who cannot verbalize or who can't or don't feel comfortable feeling their emotions, because you don't have to go through the mental process of it. So you're kind of bypassing the cognitions that those warped cognitions and thoughts that people have put into your head. So you kind of go past that. So that's why it's very helpful for some people. So I would recommend checking it out if you can. So yeah. And the Six of Swords, the Six of Swords is literally moving away from the situation, moving on to calmer waters, being able to turn your back on whatever it was that is not serving you anymore. Because like I said, this looks like the same person to me. So this to me is you actually going through the emotions that are in this cup. So like bravely, like fiercely going through it. And the swords, like I said, the swords represent thoughts, communication, and all of that. But in the way that I'm interpreting this, it's like you being equipped with more positive, or maybe not even positive, just more adaptive thoughts to fight off the ones that are not correct. Because when I say cognitions, those are thoughts, beliefs that you have in your brain. So if one of your main beliefs that you jump to when you're feeling an emotion is, this is bad, I shouldn't be feeling this, you have like a countering thought, cognition, belief, whatever you want to call it. And it's like, it is okay for me to feel this emotion right now. Now, it doesn't, like, it's okay for me to feel it because there are no wrong emotions. And my emotion will pass. I am not my emotion. Okay. So that is something that I'm kind of seeing here. That's how I'm seeing it. So, and if what I said about that person resonates, oh shit. So I have the deck like right here. It's literally right on my side, and I just grabbed the card of the top. This is the Seven of Swords. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I should repeat it, but now that I got that card, I would definitely say that. Again, if you're going to do this, again, don't try to like bite off more than you can chew. So just take it slow. There's no need for you to rush. Like, especially with this Ace of Pentacles here, the Ace of Pentacles is a slow process. The Six of Swords is a little bit faster, but this is a slow beginning. So don't rush yourself and don't push yourself too hard, okay? So what I was going to say, that this card, when I grabbed this card, I haven't touched that since I shuffled like right in front of you. This person, if the thing about this one person resonates for you, they're being deceptive. They're being very selfish. So they absolutely do not have your best interest in mind in any way. Even if they try to make you believe that they do, they don't. They really only care about themselves. So they really don't deserve a place in your life, to be honest. You can do whatever you want to do with that. Some people, I know that many people have opinions about going no contact, whoever they are, because I feel like this could be family. See how you feel about that. Again, don't let anyone tell you that something is inherently like wrong and you shouldn't do it. Do what feels right to you. So if there is someone that you do not want to talk to ever again, don't do it. Because you know what's best for you, and it's okay for you to create distance with people who are not helping you in any way and are only hurting you. Like, that doesn't mean that it's a complete goodbye. It could be like a temporary separation if you don't want to completely burn the bridges, okay? But make the right decision for you, not based on what other people tell you is the right or wrong thing, okay? So that's what they wanted to tell you. And they're emphasizing, I think, the gratitude, because a big part of the rest of the message that came through is like this negative affect. So that's like a pervasive state of emotion, right? And being grateful for like smaller things in life really helps you shift your perspective towards a more positive one, or just a less positive, less negative one in general. It doesn't have to be completely positive, maybe more neutral even. And if you feel like you have nothing again to be like grateful for, like they just mentioned it here. Maybe you have like some internet friends, so be grateful that you have internet friends, and maybe you spoke to them today, that you have music to listen to, that you have hot water to take a shower. So it can be literally anything. You don't have to wait to receive something grand to be grateful. So that being grateful helps you internally. So that's why they're bringing it up. Okay, so that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do love my updates for the channel over there, and also in my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and much love to you. Bye-bye. Hello for you, pal, too, with this seashell. This is your reading, so I'm going to put that right there, and we're gonna look at this now. Before I started in the video period, like even before I picked the cards, I got a message, and they were like, this is for pile 2. So I'm going to say it. If you how do I explain this? If you this is for you if you recently bought or were gifted some type of doll or effigy like thing. So to me it looks like a doll, but it's something that's supposed to be a representation of something else. So I'm not talking like a Barbie. I'm talking like maybe a doll that is like a representation of a person that lived before, or something that a doll that was made in resemblance of something else. So maybe like a movie character, or someone who like passed away, or this belonged to someone else who passed away. So the reason they're showing me this doll thing is because there is some type of spirit like attached to it, but they're not evil. So to me it feels, because I'm kind of seeing them with your spirit team even though they're not part of your spirit team, and they're kind of like a positive, helpful spirit. They may have like caused a bit of a ruckus when they first got there, but it's just because they were trying to get your attention. And they're not trying to hurt you in any way. It's kind of like they just want attention, and if you give them some attention, they will probably help you like a little bit. So to be honest, I don't know why that's coming up. So it doesn't mean that the rest of the message isn't for you if that doesn't resonate, but that came up very strongly, and I can't tell what spirit this is. I'm assuming this is for several of you. I don't know if this is only for one person. It could only be for one person. But they are not, they're not evil. They have like this childlike type of energy, which may make them like a little bit creepy to you. It's not a child though. So, yeah, it's interesting. For some of you, it's even like a little toy of like a superhero, and that's because that's something that's being shown to me. It's like a Captain America type of toy, or something like that, like a character, like a Marvel character. So let me know if that resonates. That was weird. So let's see what card you have here, and then we're going to shuffle the tarot. So, courage. Did I say that right? I don't think I did. No one is fearless. No one. But even though I'm not fearless, I am courageous. When fear shows up, I don't run away from it. I use my courage to conquer it. My courage allows me to walk right up to that fear and kick it in the nuts, then quickly hide behind someone bigger until it goes away. So, that is your main message. So, I think it's interesting because I was just talking about like that. So you have been having like issues around your house with like weird sounds and things going a little bit missing, or being creeped out, like seeing shadows of the corner of your eye. This is like the biggest be not afraid of I've felt in my life. It's like, it's okay. It's okay for you. It's okay to be scared. That's the thing. But they want you to be courageous. So maybe if this is like related to the spirit that I just mentioned that is attached to this other thing, what you need to do is set the boundaries with them and be like, okay, this is my house. If you want attention, I will pay attention to you. I acknowledge you. I need you to stop doing X, this thing, because it scares me and I don't like it. Stop. That's it. That is it. Okay? and they should listen. If they don't listen, be more firm. Burn a couple sage here and there. Like people, like I say sage, but like some sage is in danger. Like why sage is in danger? Please don't use that unless you're a native or have access to a native seller who is willing to give it to you. You don't even need that. Grab a pot or a pan and something to hit it with and make a shit ton of noise. They usually fucking leave, okay? But again, these doesn't feel like they are evil. They're just a little bit chaotic. So yeah, so they want you to, your spirit team wants you to stand up for yourself, regardless of whether this is because of this entity specifically, or if this is just like a general thing in your life where they want you to be, they want you to, again, it says it right there, be courageous even though you're afraid. So do things even if you are afraid of doing them. I don't remember who I saw it from. This is probably like a very common phrase, I assume, because I really don't remember who I heard it from, but it was very short, and it was simply do it afraid. So to not wait until you're not afraid anymore, just do it afraid, because if you keep waiting, you will be putting it off and you won't ever do it. So yeah, I really like the imagery here, that is like a little mouse with the cape and facing a monster that he's very scared of. But it's just a shadow, and they're calling my attention to that for a reason. So the thing with shadows is that they can sometimes appear bigger than the actual threat. So maybe what you're afraid of seems very scary from far away, or from a specific angle, or from where you're seeing it right now, but it will turn out to be something so manageable and so tiny that you will feel almost silly for being so afraid of it and not doing it. So they want you to believe in yourself more, and to believe in your own capabilities a lot more. You have skills. You are capable of doing a lot of things. You are capable of doing more things that you think you can. More things than you think you're capable of. You like, your biggest enemy is yourself. Like, your own perception of yourself, and maybe of the world. So because for you, it may be like a generalized thing where the world is like a very scary place. Or you may have honestly, you might just have trust issues. Or you may be very anxious, but they kind of want you to face that. So whatever makes you really afraid, do it. So let me explain something to you. I'm someone who is very I'm giving this as an example. Even though my example is a little bit extreme, because I am extreme. But I am someone who has been very dependent on my family all my life. And being alone is terrifying. So I don't go anywhere by myself. And it's less out of my fear, and also, less out of that and more out of just simply the fact that that's how my life works. I'm always with someone. So being alone scares me. But what I did was I wanted to go somewhere, and no one was going to be able to go with me. So I was second guessing it, going to a completely different country. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because I don't have like a specific. I do have a date, so that's what they mean. That's what they want you to do. So I'm literally gonna be traveling by myself, and I'm gonna be facing every single fear that I've ever had. So that's the type of thing. Again, you don't have to be as extreme as me, because I make myself incredibly uncomfortable just for character development. I'm like, do I have to do this? Okay, I have to do it. Then I'm gonna go all out. Like, that's just the way I am. You don't have to be like me. that's completely okay. That is actually absolutely fine. Don't overload yourself. I'm too hard on myself all the time. So maybe it could be something like that. For you, it could be that type of fear. Maybe something that scares you is people. So maybe you avoid people, you avoid going on dates, you avoid going out with friends, or you may be like, what friends? So the way for you to face that fear is to go out like to a function, an event, and try to make some friends, or try to talk to someone on the internet that you think is cool, and you have been trying to, you have thought about talking to them and trying to be friends with them, but then you chicken out. So it could be something like that for you. I'll do the 5 of Wands. Okay. Let me move that up again so you can see the card. Okay. 5 of Wands. What do your spirit team wants to tell you? Oop. 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. I'm laughing because that makes sense. Okay. This is really good. Oh my god. That flew off. That is the Wheel of Fortune. This one fell off like right here. It didn't flip, so I wasn't going to take it, but I did notice that it flew out like on my table along with this one. This is the 8 of Cups. So 2 8s right there. That may be an important number for you. But, so here's the thing. The reason I said this makes sense. So the 5 of Wands is usually conflict with other people, but I feel like this card could also be interpreted a little bit like the 7 of Wands, where there is this struggle with things around you, people around you, your environment. I wouldn't necessarily interpret these cards as an internal struggle, although I think for you there's an internal struggle as well, but it's being represented as a real struggle between you and your environment. So your environment may not be conductive of your independence or your growth in general. So one of the things that your spirit team wants you to work on is on improving your circle. So your circle of friends, your circle of support just in general. If you are like, okay, maybe you have no circle of support, so that your job will be to build this, okay? And leave what doesn't serve you behind, because we do have this right here. So what doesn't serve you, walk away from it, whether those are people or a job or a habit, a way of living, anything like that that doesn't help you move forward, and that keeps you like in this energy of fear, of non-action. They want you to move away from it, okay? So the 8 of Pentacles is a card of mastery. It's a card of putting in the work, doing the hard work. And again, I think this applies to your actual circle of support. They want you to build one if you don't have one, or if you do have one, they want you to analyze who is in it, and if any of those people make you uncomfortable or have tried to hold you back. So you can decide if they need to stay or they need to go. If they are not, just pay attention to how they talk to you, how they respond when you have an accomplishment, how they respond when you change something about yourself. Because some people, they don't want to see you change because they are way too comfortable with a specific version of you. So when you change, they will try to keep you as you were before. They will try to prevent you from changing, and you need to change. Like, we are constantly changing all the time. So again, it doesn't help you in any way. So they want to work on that, but also kind of to work on yourself. So you may like with this courage card here, you may feel like the little mouse, but without the cape. So you may not feel very capable. So one thing for you to work on is on your self-esteem, your self-concept, your just the general way in which you see yourself and your capabilities. Again, going back to the example that I gave you, I am someone who I am not confident in my abilities at all most of the time. So what I did is like, I thought, if I can do this, there's absolutely no way that I will ever doubt myself again, because I'm going to be doing so many things that are hard and scary for me, that it's like, if I come out alive, I will, but you know what I mean? I'm exaggerating. If I come out alive, I can do anything. So the way for you to increase your courage and to move forward is to actually face your fears. There's no way around them. The only way out is through. Okay. And with this Wheel of Fortune right here, again, going back to the change, you putting in this work into bettering your circle and yourself, it's going to trigger a major change in your life, and it will move you away from whatever this conflict is and towards something that is much more aligned with who you are and who you're meant to be. So your life will improve. That's the thing. Your life will improve if you work on these things. And maybe even like, if the spirit thing resonated in your home, this is something that maybe they are even trying to help you with. Like, this is maybe even something that will help you with this, because you standing up to this spirit, even though they're not evil, and being like, hey, stop that, it's almost like a test as well. So it is a little bit of a test, to be completely honest. So again, you can't be afraid. It says right here, no one is fearless. But even though I'm not fearless, I am courageous. So you can feel fear. The problem is that you can't let fear stop you or completely control you. Of course, there are situations where having fear and listening to that fear is important and helpful. But if it's not a life or death situation, it's not a situation where you are in harm's way, and the fear is simply a fear of failure or a fear of not being perfect or of embarrassing yourself, that is a fear that you can walk through. And in fact, you should. Because chances are, once you actually do whatever it is that scares you, you're going to be like, that wasn't so bad at all. That wasn't so bad at all. And if by any chance something does happen that's not great for you, the point is to not let that define you and to not let that stop you from trying again or trying something else. Okay, so they really don't want you to beat yourself down for not doing things perfectly on the first try, or for not living up to the standards that you have set for yourself, or not living up to the version of yourself that you think or you would like to be, that you think you should be, or that you would like to be. You can get there. So the thing is that a healthy dose of, okay, I need to get my shit together so I can get to be this version of myself is good, but beating yourself down isn't, and punishing yourself. That is not productive. It is not going to help you in any way. And it actually, I'm literally seeing a screw being screwed down into a piece of wood. So it's like it just pushes you further down. So that's not helping you at all. And your spirit team are really trying to get your attention. Like, even like if you don't have a spirit around, if you didn't receive any fucking doll, it's like they may be causing a ruckus just to get your attention. Because they have been trying to tell you. Because this Wheel of Fortune, it's like it's ready. It's ready. The cycle is ready to be closed. Okay, but you actually have to do the work. You actually have to close it yourself, because even though your spirit team wants to help you and they would do anything to help you, at the end of the day, you have choice in the matter as well. So you have free will as well. You can choose to move away from this pattern and then fall back on it again. It's difficult. Sometimes you don't choose to fall back on a pattern. It just happens. But it is your choice whether you're going to stay there after you realize that you're there, or if you're going to just beat yourself down and not really get out of it. So again, you always have a choice, even if it doesn't feel like it. So sometimes we run away from certain things because we feel responsible. And we actually sometimes are responsible for certain things in our life, for certain situations. And we don't want to admit that because it's painful, and we can even feel ashamed. But it's important to see what is causing the problem at the core so it can be dealt with and you can move forward. Again, I am not blaming you for any of this, but they do want you to see if you have any type of hand into whatever is happening in your life where it's not ideal. So there could very well be, like I said, there are real like things in your environment that are preventing you from this, but there's also a factor of yourself. And the thing is that you can't really change other people. You can't force other people to change, but you can change yourself. So by changing yourself and moving people around in your circle, pushing away the people that do not help you in any way and bringing in people who support you, and working on yourself so you can, so you are more confident and just feel better about yourself in general, that is going to help you change. That is going to improve your life, okay? So, and I was going to say that's what I was going to end it, but they said one last thing, and that was trust. So trust them and trust yourself. But they also said it in like this specific tone of like being like trust, like believe that's true. So that's the kind of tone that it said it in. So take that as you will. That's all I have for you then. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do love my others of the channel over there, and also in my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and much, much love to you. Bye-bye. Hello for your pile 3 with the seashell. There's your reading. Let's move that back. And let's see what they have to say. I didn't get anything like right now, like before your reading for you, so let's just jump straight into it. So you got worthiness. I am worthy of the ultimate happiness. I deserve and accept it, and damn it, I'm not going to feel guilty about it when I get it. Guilt is not invited to my happiness party. I won't even tell him where it is. If he asks about it, I'll be like, no, I think you're thinking of something else, and then I'll run away very quickly. I love these cards, they're so funny. Why do you think you're not worthy of happiness, huh? Who told you that? Who made you believe that? Because you're very worthy. And I said I didn't get anything, but oh my god, I literally forgot. Like in the meantime that I was doing your intro, I was like, yeah, I forgot. I heard someone going like, the turtle from the turtle from Nemo that goes, dude. Like I heard something like that, and I don't know who that was. Maybe that was one of your guides. That's so funny. So I think that's interesting, because if I remember correctly, that turtle from Nemo, I don't remember his name, he had like very nice life advice, but he was very like silly. Like he was not the type of, well, not person, because he was a turtle, but anyway, the type of person, let's say person, that you would take seriously like at a first glance, because they just seemed very silly, he just looked like he was high as hell. So maybe you wouldn't listen to the turtle, but then if you actually listened a little bit, they had very they had important things to say. So I don't know if this is referring to one of your guides, or if they're referring to someone in your life specifically who wants to give you, or recently gave you a piece of advice, but you're not sure if you should take it because it seems dumb. Maybe sit with it a little bit and consider it. I'm not telling you to accept it, because again, I don't know, and it's up to you, but don't disregard this advice. If you haven't received it yet, when you receive it, don't disregard it. Don't disregard it immediately. Consider it a little bit, because there's something, maybe not the whole piece of advice that they're going to give you is maybe not, well, good is not the word, it's like appropriate or useful for your situation, but there's something that is. So pay attention to what that is, okay? It sounded so funny. It was like, dude. Oh my god. So they made me hear such weird things just for me to understand the message, and it's weird. So let's see what is your spirit team trying to tell you. I'm getting the sense that some of you, this is the Ace of Pentacles. That came out for another reading, but I shuffled, so. I get the sense that some of you may be actual tarot readers yourselves. And you may ask a lot. Maybe you just started. You may ask like a lot of things about a specific situation, but when you get an answer that you don't like, you put the card back and ask again, and then ask again, and then ask again. Same. I've done that. I'm guilty of it. Okay. But if that's the case, again, they're like, listen to me. I'm telling you the truth. So this might be your guys being like, hey, I told you already, but you didn't listen, but I told you. So, you know, they're sassy. I like them. I like this like group of guides. Oh my god, the Tower. See, I'm not the type of reader that sees the Tower and is like, oh no, tragedy. But it cut me off guard. I didn't think it was gonna come out right here. This is not, again, some people see it as a bad card. I don't think it's a bad card. It's just a little bit chaotic and sudden, but it's not bad. So let's see what else. Spirit team, what are you trying to tell pile 3? Oh my god. Okay. That is the Page of Wands. Did anything else fall out? That is the Six of Swords. Calm down. I'm not grabbing any of this properly. Some of you may be, if you felt called to watch pile 1, go ahead and do it. So, going back to what I said, your spirit team. Either you asked for advice about something by yourself, like with your own tarot deck, or you went to someone to contact your spirit team and give you this advice, and you were like, no. For whatever reason, like your first reaction was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not. But the thing is that if it was something that you want to go ahead and do, because it's like the type of thing where I have done this too. Like I want to believe that something is true, or I want to do something, and I'll ask, but if I get a no, if I get anything negative towards you, I'll be like, that's not a big deal. I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to do it anyway. Or I'm going to believe this anyway. And the problem is, if you're doing something specifically, if this is something, if the question was about something that you want to do, that you want to go ahead and start, because the Ace of Pentacles is a start, we have literally the Tower afterwards, and it's like, it's a no-go. It's not going to work. It's literally not going to work. Because for me, starting with the Ace of Pentacles and then getting the Tower is like cutting off the beginning of something, like cutting off something short, not letting something get to any more advanced. It's like a full stop, you are not going down this road. And the fact that we got the Page of Wands afterwards, the Page of Wands, pages always like messengers, and they are traveling basically. So the pages for me, and I'm paying attention to the direction that he's facing. He's facing that way, moving away from that. So to me, this is telling me that this beginning here is not going to work out, and you're going to move in a different direction with a different approach. Even here, we have like a change of suits. We have Pentacles here and then Wands here. So, they're like, you can start this, but it's probably not going to work out well. Like it may backfire on you, or like maybe you already started and you're like, well, shit. Yeah, we have the Tower here. The Tower, like I said, is like a sudden shift. It's very abrupt, very destructive, clearly. It doesn't mean destructive like generally. It could be personally destructive for you, where it may just disrupt your entire day and stress you out. Like, it doesn't have to be something horrendous, okay? But it will feel personally catastrophic, okay? And we have like, everyone has like different thresholds of what they consider like a really bad thing. So don't go crazy about it. Doesn't mean that it's like a crazy like catastrophe that is going to destroy your entire life. It doesn't have to be that way. It may feel like that, but it doesn't objectively have to be that way, okay? So if that's the case, expect to be resurrected. Like, this is either an end to the whole thing in its entirety, or an end to a what's the word I'm looking for? It's like, oh my god, to a specific approach to the problem. Because like I said, what I noted was the change in suits. So this initial approach that you're starting with may not be the most suitable for you to get a good result. So you have this Tower card is something not going right, maybe something not working out, or simply you realizing that you're not getting the results that you want, and that you have to change your approach to whatever this is. So, but the fact that we have the Tower, to me, it doesn't feel like something that you realize by yourself. It's like it's kind of forced on you, because the Tower, for me, it has always felt like a more divine intervention type of thing, that is like, that's enough. Because I always associate this card with the story of Saint Barbara. I am a former Catholic, so like I know quite a bit about this. So that's why I make the connection. But in that story of the saint, her father, who kills her, is struck down by a lightning bolt, and he had kept her in a tower for I don't know how long, because she was not of the same faith that he was. And he got mad at her and he killed her. But then it was like this divine punishment. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to get divine punishment, but what I'm saying is, the reason I told you that is to explain why I see this as an intervention from maybe your spirit team or a higher power, like a god or anything you want to believe in. So to me, this feels like a forceful kind of, no, this is the right way. Because sometimes we can't really figure out the right way, or we're like, okay, you know what? Fine, I give up. I'm simply not going to do it. So sometimes we do need that extra push, and that's what they're showing me here. Yeah. So there's something else, but I'm trying to find what it is, because for some reason it's very like if I had to explain this in any way, it's like something scurrying away from me. Like, what is that I can't quite find? What is that? Maybe it's something that you literally don't want to hear, and that's why it's so difficult for me to find it. Like, what is that? Oh. Okay, so this may be for some of you. This may not be for all of you. But what I'm getting right now, that I just grabbed, that didn't want to be grabbed, was that for some of you, is talking about a relationship where you like really, really want to be with this person, and you have been ignoring the red flags. Like, for you, like, you're colorblind. Like, you can't see those red flags. And if you did, no, you didn't. So, in the words of my mom, it's kind of like they're saying that you may be really stubborn and set in your ways, which me too. So don't worry, I'm not judging you. What my mom says is like, I have to let you break your head against the wall, because she's like, I'm not going to be able to change your mind. So I'm going to have to let you realize that you need to find another way. Despite, I have to let you like continuously do the wrong thing until you get that it's the wrong thing. And that's how it's feeling for me. And specifically, like I said, if this is like about a relationship that you want to be in that relationship with this person, this, again, red flags, but it's like you don't actually like them. You may not want to hear that. I don't care if it's coming through. I'm saying it. You may not actually like them. It's more like, an obsession because maybe they don't give you their full attention and you want that, or there's something about them that is desirable for you, but they have you chasing them, but you're not doing it because you actually are in love with them. It's like just like you desire that thing or that aspect of them, and it's more obsessive than it is love. I'm not seeing like actual feelings. It's more of like a persecution in a way, like a cat and mouse game, and that's the exciting part of it, but I'm not seeing any feelings, like quite literally. So if this is about that person, yeah, your spirit team is like, no. That's not, no, don't do it. But again, if you are this level of stubborn that I'm being shown, you're not gonna give a fuck that I told you. So they're just, I think maybe they're letting you know in advance that they're gonna intervene in some way to redirect you, so they don't have to. So it's like, maybe this is like your last call to be like, okay, fine, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, that's up to you. But it literally felt like it was scurrying away, like, don't talk about this thing because I don't want to hear it. So it felt like that. And that's interesting because I literally got a visual of it. It was kind of like, you know, when you have like a little toy or like something tied to a string and like to play with a cat or something, and when they get close to it, they pull it back. Like, that's how it felt for me. Like, I was chasing the thing and I was like, come here. It was so weird. So yeah. And this, again, if this is resonating specifically with the relationship thing, I want to be with this person or whatever it is I want to do with this person, the worthiness is here, because, and I say this as someone who has done this, where you chase the people who are emotionally or just overall unavailable to you because you don't really want to address your own vulnerability, and you don't actually believe on a deeper level that you are deserving of happiness and real love. Like, for you, this is the only thing that you will get, or that's the way you think. Like, that's what you think. And there's something that you maybe think you did at some point in your life that made you lose the privilege of receiving real love and real happiness and affection and all of that. So I think that's the connection between these cards here and the messages, because until you are able to recognize yourself as someone who is deserving of something better, you are going to continue to go after things and people that kind of prove your own negative belief about yourself, like a self-fulfilling prophecy, where you're like, I am unlovable, and so you maybe pursue people who treat you like they don't love you, like you are disposable, you are unimportant. So maybe you go after these people and they continue to treat you like that because obviously they do not give a shit, and it's like kind of like it just confirms your belief. So it's a toxic cycle. And again, I say this every time whenever I talk about anything like this, I'm not blaming you, and they are not, your spirit team isn't either. They're just bringing it to your attention, because the cycles continue because you are not aware of them. So by making you aware of it, you are more likely to actually snap out of it. So yeah, there it is. That's what it was. That's what it was. Yep. So again, they're going to redirect you if you continue down on this, because it's time. It's time to get out of that and to really allow yourself to be happy without feeling like that imposter syndrome or like you literally don't deserve it. Like, it's time for you to feel full happiness without feeling like you have to apologize for it or to ask for permission. You don't have to ask for permission to be happy. And that's the most important thing here. Okay, so that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do love my updates for the channel over there, and also in my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. I wish you the best of luck in your journey, and much love to you. Bye bye.